So Stephen, firstly, let's start with that red card. What's the latest?
Well, we appealed against it. We thought we had a very good case to appeal against it. I have to say, on the day, and the footage I'd seen, I thought, okay, he's given an opportunity. But when we watched it back with real cameras, slowed it down, it didn't fit any of the criteria that he was sent off for. So we did appeal against it. Unsurprisingly, it wasn't successful. So we just have to get on with it. Shane will get a ban now, I believe 3 games. So he'll only be available for the Papa Johns, which is a shame because I think it spoiled a very good game of football, and it means we're without a very good player for a few games.
It did change the game, didn't it? But how proud were you of the way the 10 men carried on?
Very much so. I thought it was way too open a game for both managers, to be honest with you. It was brilliant spectacle. But when it goes to 10 men, you're up against it. We were brave. We played 2 up front the whole game, and then we went to 3 up front in the last 15 minutes. And we got our just rewards, and the boys have to have real credit for that. They dug in, they stuck to the system, and their real desire not to be beaten, and done the free stuff in football, headers, tackles, and the things that people maybe don't appreciate nowadays. They were what kept us in the game to allow for Cole to equalise.
Another game where you conceded 3 at home. How much does that concern you?
Yeah, it's I think we're the leading goal scorers in the division for outfield play, and we've got a really low rate of conceding goals. I think we're 3rd or 4th now in outfield play, but it was another set play, the penalty, and we have ourselves to blame. It was individual mistakes for the goal. So there are definitely goals that are preventable, and it's something that we're desperate to change, and we're working on the change. And funny, we spent a large amount of time working on defensive stuff, and we're scoring a lot of goals and conceding a lot of goals. So exciting for fans, but it's certainly something we're trying to change, because if we do that and we stop conceding the silly goals, then we've got a chance of climbing the table.
In terms of morale, it's priceless, though, isn't it? Cole's equaliser at 3-3.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have a reward for your hard work, and you put all that effort in and don't come out with anything out of the game. It's hard to take, but I think we deserved it. I think John after the game said we deserved it. He was unhappy with how they played, and I was delighted with how we played. And sometimes character gets you a long way, and we've got that in abundance.
So going into Tuesday's game, a win would make it 7 points out of 9, wouldn't it? That's a good return. Yeah,
it's as I say, we set our stone on what we want to achieve. There's a lot of teams on 12 points. We're on 11 points, I think I'm right in saying. So there's 1 point between 6 or 7 teams. So it's a big game for us. We're right beside each other on the table. They'll be thinking the same. They're a good side. Lincoln are a very good side. Started slowly, but are starting to get a few results under the belt. So every game's a tough game in this division, but there's certainly an incentive to climb the table with a victory.
In terms of selection, obviously Shane banned, but Ryan Cooney back. Any other changes?
No, obviously Greg Lee's going to be out for a period of time now, which is a huge blow to us. I thought Greg was terrific on Tuesday, but now gives Gibbo that opportunity, and he showed great character on Saturday. He made a mistake, as people do, but he dug in and he showed how brave a boy he is, how strong he was, and right to the end, carried us through. So he'll get his opportunity. Ryan McLaughlin's now, real competition for Ryan Cooney, and I thought Ryan done really well Saturday. So yeah, there's a decision to make in that department, and decisions all over the pitch. There's very little between players.
Jonah Ayunga came back on. Nice to see him back.
It is. I think Jonah's still a little bit rusty. I don't think he's quite ready to start the game, but he's certainly an asset from the bench with his height and physicality. I made enforced changes on Saturday in terms of Wes and Arthur to an extent tactically. But the more options we have up front, Jonas certainly adds to that and he's different than what we've got. So pleasing to have him back in the next few weeks, hopefully back to top form.
All the focus is on Cole Stockton and his goals. Every time he scores, his value goes up. How worried are you about January?
Listen, I've spent the last 7 years worrying about transfer deadline days. Cole has to keep his head down, keep working hard. There's lots of areas of his game that he knows he can work on and keep improving. He's a boy that wants to do that. I can't control what anybody else does. I can't control if people put offers in or what other people think of Cole. My main focus is him playing for Morecambe, improving him as a player and continuing him to score goals.
Other highlights though were Adam Phillips and Arthur Ganoa. Fantastic goal from Adam and an assist, and Arthur's now top assists in League One, I think.
Yeah, which is credit to him. We've spent a lot of time with all the wide players in terms of end product. They're good on the eye, but there's definitely an end product to Arthur's game now, and that's fantastic. So long may that continue. That's what they get judged on. Scoring goals and setting goals up, and super cross for Adam. He's now got 3 goals from midfield. if we can get 90 minutes out of him, he's still getting that 90 minutes. And if Adam can continue to do the free stuff in the game, then we all know what an abundance of talent he has.
This will be the last game in September. What's your assessment of things so far?
Been a roller coaster, hasn't it? It's listen, if I was a fan, I'd be loving every last minute of it. It's, you know, you're coming to games, you're watching goals, you're watching exciting football, you're watching boys trying to express themselves, you're watching boys make mistakes, and we all do. But what a great character we have in the team. You know, if I'm a Morecambe fan and seeing the desire they play with, good and bad at times, but we play with a real desire and energy. So, as I say, if I'm a fan paying my money to come and watch, I'd be quietly content at the moment, and as a manager, another few years off my life, I think.